Africa is the second largest continent and home to a lot more than simply safaris and the pyramids. And the world's second most populous continent. While its lengthy coastline is lined with stunning beaches and craggy cliffs, its enormous interior contains everything from mountains and deserts to tropical rainforest and the Nile River. Africa, which is home to a huge variety of distinct cultures and languages, offers an enticing fusion of old and new, since many of its centuries-old traditions and practices still exist today. The top African nations to visit are listed below. Number 10. Namibia. Namibia, tucked away in the southwest of the continent, is one of the least populous nations in Africa. This is due to the fact that much of it is composed of dry, lonely terrain and the merciless Namib Desert. It was formerly a German colony and only achieved independence from South Africa in 1990, therefore several colonial-era buildings may still be found in Windhoek, the nation's capital. However, the majority of visitors come for its outstanding national parks, which are home to breathtakingly beautiful landscapes and amazing animals. For instance, you can see lions, elephants, and black rhinos prowling the Kalahari at Etosha National Park. The Skeleton Coast, a perilous Atlantic Ocean shoreline with numerous eerie shipwrecks, is another well-liked tourist site. Number 9. Tunisia. Tunisia, a long-established tourism hotspot, is situated between Algeria and Libya on North Africa's Mediterranean coast. Many Europeans visit this area to relax on its golden sands and go swimming in the sea because of its wonderful warm weather and appealing beaches. However, Tunisia is much more than just sand, sea, and sun. It is also dotted with magnificent archaeological monuments that stretch back thousands of years. This is because it has been ruled by a variety of people throughout its history, including the Carthaginians, Romans, Ottomans, Arabs, and subsequently, French. The breathtaking Roman amphitheater in El Jem and the ruins of Carthage are without a doubt the region's most notable historical attractions. Number 8. Uganda. The landlocked nation of Uganda, which borders the largest lake in Africa, is also home to the highest mountain range on the continent and the source of the Nile. Although its infrastructure and tourism sector are underdeveloped when compared to its neighboring countries of Kenya and Tanzania, this just adds to the allure of exploring its breathtaking scenery. Uganda has long been forgotten by travelers to the continent because of its turbulent and terrible past. Slowly but surely, is reclaiming its status as the Pearl of Africa. This is largely due to the fact that it is one of just 3 nations in the world where mountain gorillas can be observed in the wild. A visit to Uganda is not complete without seeing the magnificent animals up close in the cloud jungles, which is an incredible experience. Number 7. Mauritius. Even though Mauritius takes some getting used to, visitors always leave stunned by the breathtaking beaches, mountains, and waterfalls on display. Its remote location means it is home to some of the rarest plants and animals in the world, and it is located more than 1,000 kilometers to the east of Madagascar. Trekking in its deep mountains is therefore a fantastic joy because flocks of colorful, bright birds flutter above the canopy of the tropical rainforest. You'll find steep ravines, deep gorges, and brilliant waterfalls hidden among the lush vegetation. Overall, the volcanic scenery unquestionably creates some of the most picturesque panoramas possible. Beautiful white sand beaches line the tempting waves of the Indian Ocean. Offshore, there is great snorkeling and diving to be had. Number 6. Tanzania. It can be difficult to know where to start in Tanzania because there is so much to see and do. If you want to go on a safari and view the Big Five, you must visit the magnificent Ngorongoro crater and the world-famous Serengeti, both of which are located in the north of the country. The tallest mountain in Africa, snow-capped Mount Kilimanjaro, is also nearby. This beautiful region of East Africa is blessed with a variety of sceneries, each of which is unique, more arresting by than the previous. The magnificent Zanzibar archipelago, which is just offshore and is well known as a tourist attraction in and of itself, is home to numerous magnificent beaches. Tanzania, one of the most linguistically and culturally varied nations in Africa, is also the location of some extremely significant and ancient archaeological sites. Number 5. Seychelles. The Seychelles, which are located 1,500 kilometers to the east of continental Africa, are the smallest and least populous nation in the continent. The 115-island archipelago is stunning and encircled by the sparkling waters of the Indian Ocean. The vast majority of the islands are deserted. The heart of the Paradise Islands is rather mountainous and covered in thick rainforest, despite the fact that they are surrounded by beautiful beaches. They are home to a variety of unusual animals and vegetation because of their remote position, and the majority of them are now recognized as nature reserves. Offshore, the Seychelles is an outstanding location for snorkeling or scuba diving because of the vibrant coral reefs and a wealth of marine life. Number 4. Morocco. Morocco is a lovely place with stunning historic cities, medinas, and souks. These are hidden between the high Atlas Mountains and the Saharan dunes, or along the country's picturesque Atlantic and Mediterranean coasts. The nation located in the northwestern part of the continent has long been a magnet for various peoples and cultures, and now its rich heritage incorporates elements from the Arab, Berber, African, and Western traditions. Everywhere you go, you can see this incredible diversity in action, with Fez and Marrakesh being among the top tourist destinations in the country. In addition to visiting the vibrant Jima El Fna and picturesque highland towns, tourists can also relax on one of the nation's magnificent beaches or travel into the Sahara. Number 3. South Africa. South Africa, which holds the southernmost tip of the continent, is home to some of Africa's greatest and most efficiently administered game reserves and national parks. Of these, Kruger is unquestionably the most famous and often visited, and Addo Elephant. Another well-liked attraction is the national park. Because of its diversified population, South Africa is known as the Rainbow Nation. Cities are exciting to explore since each one has an own personality. While Johannesburg is bustling with activity, Cape Town is more relaxed and is overshadowed by the magnificent Table Mountain. Towering mountains and dry deserts may be found here, making South Africa a very wonderful place to travel. And to top it all off, the country's coastlines along the Atlantic and Indian Oceans are dotted with breathtaking scenery and world-class beaches. 886 out of 5,000 translated words. Translation outcome. Number 2. Kenya. For many people, Kenya is the origin of safari and one of the best places in the world to observe animals up close. Lions, elephants, and buffalo wander with herds of antelope in the seemingly unending grassland. Some of the most well-known peoples and cultures on the continent, such as the Maasai and Swahili, which each have their own rich traditions, call these spectacular landscapes home. Kenya is also home to Nairobi, the country's ever-expanding capital, one of the continent's major cities, which stands in stark contrast to its centuries-old ways of living. Freshwater lakes, woods, and the Great Rift Valley, which traverses from north to south, may be found alongside its broad plains. Kenya is one of the best nations in Africa to travel to because of its magnificent Indian Ocean coastline and other factors. Number 1. Egypt. Egypt is unlike any other nation on Earth and is renowned for its historic structures and archaeological attractions, including the Valley of the Kings, the Great Sphinx, and the Giza Pyramids. Everywhere you go, you can see the remains of one of the world's finest civilizations, including finely carved statues, obelisks, tombs, and temples. Egypt is a country in the northeast of the continent, flanked by the Mediterranean Sea and the Sahara Desert lies to the south and west of the Red Seas. The Nile River, which flows through Egypt, is the country's lifeblood. While many visitors travel there to view its historical landmarks or explore Cairo, an equal number also travel there for its world-class Red Sea beaches.